I stood outside my own front door, staring at it like it belonged to someone else. My hand tightened around the duffel bag strap. My fingers stiff, like they forgot how to move. "I'm home," I whispered, even though no one could hear me yet. The words felt strange, heavy, like they didn't fit anymore. I pushed the door open slowly. It creaked, just like always. Nothing had changed, but something felt off. Too quiet. "Lena!" I called out. No answer. I stepped inside, boots hitting the floor harder than I meant. My heart started beating faster, not from fear, just something I couldn't name. "I'm back early," I said louder. Surprise. Still nothing. Then I heard it. A laugh. Soft. Light. From upstairs. I froze. "That's weird," I muttered. She didn't hear me. Another voice followed. A man's voice. I felt something drop inside my chest. "No," I said under my breath. "No, that's not." I started walking. Slow at first, then faster. My boots hit each step like a countdown. Step, step, step. My hand reached the bedroom door. The laughter came again. Closer now. I didn't knock. I pushed the door open, and everything stopped. Lena was in the bed. Not alone. Sheets twisted around her body. Hair messy. Skin bare. And a man beside her. My world went silent. Not quiet. Silent. Like someone cut the sound out of life itself. Lena turned her head first. Her smile froze. Her eyes widened. "Daniel," she whispered. The man sat up, confused. "What the hell? Who are you?" I didn't answer. I couldn't. My mouth opened, but nothing came out. I just stared. This couldn't be real. I survived war. I survived bullets, explosions, nights where I thought I wouldn't wake up. And this was what I came back to. "Daniel." "Wait," Lena said quickly, pulling the sheet over herself. "I can explain." I finally found my voice. "Explain what?" I asked. My voice sounded empty. "Explain what I'm looking at right now." "It's not what you think," she said. I laughed. A short, broken sound. "Not what I think." I repeated. "Then tell me what I'm supposed to think." The man beside her rolled his eyes slightly, like he was annoyed. "Look, man," he said, "you should have knocked." I turned my head slowly toward him. "Knocked?" I said. "In my own house." He frowned. "Your house." Lena cut in quickly. "Victor, stop." Victor. That was his name. I let it sink in. "Victor," I repeated quietly. "Good to meet you." "It's not like that," Lena said again, her voice shaking now. "Daniel, please, just listen." I took a step forward. "You told me you'd wait," I said. "I did." "You said no matter how long I was gone." I cut her off. Her eyes filled with tears. "I tried." "Tried?" I said. "Tried." Victor stood up now, grabbing his clothes. "Look, I don't need to be part of this," he muttered. I stepped in front of him before he could move past me. "You don't get to walk out like nothing happened," I said. He raised his hand slightly. "Hey, I didn't know about you. Okay." I looked at Lena. She didn't answer. That told me everything. "You didn't know?" I said slowly, so she didn't mention the guy she was supposed to be waiting for. Victor hesitated. "That's not how she put it," he said. I nodded once. "Of course it isn't." "Daniel, please," Lena said, getting out of the bed now, wrapping herself in the sheet. "Don't do this." "Don't do what?" I asked. "Don't react. You're scaring me." I blinked. "Scaring you?" I said. "I just walked into my house and found you in bed with someone else, and I'm the one scaring you." "I didn't mean for this to happen," she said. "But it did," I replied. Victor sighed. "Look, man, I'm leaving." I stepped aside without looking at him. "Yeah," I said quietly. "You should." He grabbed his shirt and moved past me quickly. At the door, he paused. "For what it's worth," he said, "this isn't all on me." Then he left. The door downstairs slammed, and it was just me and Lena. Silence filled the room again. But this time, it was louder. "Say something," she whispered. I looked at her. Really looked. This was a woman I loved. The woman I thought about every night. The reason I kept going when everything around me was falling apart. And now, she was never real, was she? I said quietly. Her face broke. Don't say that. The Lena I remembered, I continued. She wouldn't do this. I'm still me, she said. No, I shook my head. You're not. Tears rolled down her cheeks. I was alone, Daniel. I was in a war, I replied. I didn't know if you were coming back. I did, I said. Every single day, I fought to come back. She covered her face. I was scared. So you replaced me. It wasn't like that. Then what was it like? I asked. She didn't answer. I nodded slowly. Yeah, I said. That's what I thought. I made a mistake, she said softly. I looked at her again. A mistake is forgetting to call, I said. This is a choice. Her shoulders shook as she cried. Please don't leave, she whispered. I picked up my duffel bag. I already did, I said. I walked toward the door. Daniel, she called out. I stopped. For a second. Just one. Then I kept walking. Each step felt heavier than the last. But I didn't look back. Because I knew if I did, I might break. And I couldn't afford to break. Not here. Not like this. I don't remember how I got into the car. I just remember sitting there, staring at my hands on the wheel. They were shaking. Breathe, I muttered. Just breathe. But my chest felt tight, like something was pressing down on it. I turned the key. The engine started. For a second, I just sat there again. Then I drove. I didn't look back at the house. Not once. Don't think, I told myself. Just drive. But my mind didn't listen. I saw it again. The bed. The sheets. Lena's face. His face. I hit the steering wheel. Stop it. I snapped at myself. My voice sounded loud in the empty car. But the images didn't stop. They just kept coming. I drove faster. Too fast. I didn't even know where I was going until I saw the street sign. Mason Street. Yeah, I whispered. Mason. I pulled up outside his place and just sat there again. My hands were still shaking. I can't do this, I said quietly. But I already knew I had no one else. I got out and walked to his door. I knocked once. Then again. Harder. The door opened. Mason stood there, half asleep, wearing a hoodie. Daniel, he said, confused. What the hell? I need to come in. I cut him off. He blinked, then stepped aside. Yeah, of course. I walked in without saying anything else. He closed the door behind me. What happened? He asked. I didn't answer. I just stood there. He studied my face. You look like hell, he said quietly. Did something happen over there? I let out a breath. A shaky one. I went home, I said. And I shouldn't have. He frowned. Why? I looked at him, and for a second, I couldn't say it. The words felt stuck. What did she do? He asked. I laughed. A broken, empty laugh. You already know. His face tightened. No, I'm just guessing. She wasn't alone, I said. Silence. Mason didn't move. What do you mean? He asked slowly. I said, my voice low. She was in our bed, with another man. Mason's eyes widened. You're serious? I nodded. He ran a hand through his hair. Damn, he muttered. Daniel. I looked away. I just stood there, I said. Like an idiot. You're not an idiot. I didn't even know what to say. I continued. I just watched. What did she say? That she could explain. And the guy. He told me I should have knocked. Mason blinked. He said what? In my own house, I said. Mason shook his head slowly. That's messed up. I leaned against the wall. I thought I'd feel angry, I said. But I didn't. Not at first. What did you feel? Nothing, I replied. Like everything just shut off. Mason stepped closer. That's shock, he said. I've been shot at, I said. I know shock. This is different, he said quietly. I didn't argue. Because he was right. This is worse, I admitted. He didn't respond right away. Then he asked, who was the guy? Victor, I said. Mason froze. You know him? I asked. He hesitated. I've seen him around, he said. My chest tightened. Around. Yeah, he said slowly. A few times. With her. He didn't answer. That's a yes, I said. It wasn't like that, he said quickly. Then what was it like? I thought he was just someone she knew, he said. I stared at him. You didn't think to tell me. I didn't know it was serious, he said. It looks pretty serious now, I snapped. He sighed. You're right. I should have said something. I shook my head. No, I said quietly. This isn't on you. It still feels like it is. Well, it's not, I replied. Silence filled the room again. I feel stupid, I said after a moment. You're not stupid. I was out there risking my life, I said, thinking about her every day. Mason didn't interrupt. I kept telling myself it would all be worth it, I continued. And now I don't even know who I was doing it for. He looked at me carefully. You were doing it for yourself too, he said. Doesn't feel like it, I replied. He grabbed 2 bottles of water and handed me one. Drink, he said. I took it, even though I didn't feel thirsty. You gonna go back there? He asked. No, I said immediately. You sure? I can't, I replied. If I go back, I don't know what I'll do. He nodded slowly. Good call. I sat down on the couch. My head felt heavy. I keep seeing it, I said. Seeing what? The room, I replied. Her face. That'll take time, he said. I don't want time, I said. I want it gone. That's not how it works. I clenched my jaw. Then how does it work? You get through it, he said. That's it. That's it. I leaned forward, elbows on my knees. This is worse than the war, I said quietly. He didn't argue, because he knew I meant it. My phone buzzed. I looked at it. Evelyn. I stayed at the screen. Answer it, Mason said. I don't feel like talking. She's your sister. I sighed and picked up. Yeah, I said. Daniel. Her voice came through, sharp and worried. Is it true? What did you hear? I asked. That you're back, she said. And something happened with Lena. I stayed quiet. Daniel, she said, softer now. Talk to me. She cheated, I said. Silence. Then, what? I walked in on it, I added. Her breath caught. I'm coming over, she said immediately. No, I said. Don't tell me no. I don't want a crowd, I replied. You're not a crowd, she snapped. You're my brother. I know, I said. Just, not tonight. She paused. Are you safe? She asked. Yes. You didn't do anything stupid. No. Good, she said. Because if that guy's still breathing, I might change that myself. I almost smiled. Almost. I'm at Mason's, I said. Stay there, she replied. Don't go back to that house. I won't. And don't talk to her tonight. I won't. Promise me. I promise. She exhaled slowly. I'm sorry, she said. Me too, I replied. We ended the call. Mason looked at me. She mad? He asked. Very, I said. Good, he replied. I leaned back into the couch. I feel like I lost something, I said. You did, he said. Not just her, I added. What else? Myself, I said quietly. He didn't answer right away. Then he said, you didn't lose yourself. Feels like I did. You just got hit, he said. Hard. I closed my eyes. I don't even know who I am right now, I admitted. That's okay, he said. No, it's not, I replied. It is, he insisted. Because now you get to decide. I opened my eyes and looked at him. Decide what? Who you're gonna be after this. I sat there in silence. For the first time since I left that house, I didn't feel numb. I felt something else. Not anger. Not yet. But something close. Something sharp. Something waking up inside me. I woke up on Mason's couch with a headache that felt like it belonged to someone else. Morning, Mason said from the kitchen. Doesn't feel like one, I muttered. He handed me coffee. You slept maybe 3 hours. Felt like 3 minutes. He leaned against the counter. You ready for today? No, I said. Too bad, he replied. It's already here. Before I could answer, there was a knock on the door. I froze. Mason looked at me. You expecting someone? No. The knock came again. Louder. I already knew. Don't open it, I said. Mason walked to the door anyway. We can't pretend she's not there. He opened it. Lena stood outside. Her eyes were red, her face pale. Daniel, she said softly. I didn't move. Mason, can I come in? She asked. He glanced at me. I shook my head. She shouldn't be here. Mason sighed. Talk to her. Then it's done. I stood up slowly. 5 minutes, I said. Lena stepped inside carefully, like she didn't belong there. She looked at me like she was seeing a stranger. I didn't sleep, she said. Not my problem, I replied. She flinched. I need to explain, she said. You already tried that. Please, she whispered. Just listen this time. I crossed my arms. Talk. She took a shaky breath. I was lonely, she said. I let out a slow laugh. Lonely? Yes, she said quickly. You were gone for months. I was at war, I replied. I know, she said. But I was alone, every day, not knowing if you were alive. And that gave you permission. No, she said. That's not what I'm saying. Then what are you saying? That I broke, she admitted. I stared at her. I tried to stay strong, she continued. At first, I did everything right. I waited. I believed. And then I started feeling like I didn't matter anymore, she said. I felt something twist in my chest. You mattered, I said. It didn't feel like it, she replied. Every call was about you surviving, your missions, your stress. Because I was trying to stay alive, I said. I know, she whispered. But I needed you too. I shook my head. So you found someone else. It wasn't planned, she said quickly. It never is, I replied. He just listened, she said. I laughed again. Of course he did. He made me feel like I wasn't invisible, she added. You were never invisible to me. You were gone, she said. Silence fell between us. Then I asked quietly, how long? She hesitated. That's not important, she said. It is to me. She looked down. A few months, she said. My jaw tightened. A few months, I repeated. I didn't mean for it to go that far, she said. But it did. Yes. I nodded slowly. So while I was bleeding out there, I said, my voice low, you were building something with him, hey. Her eyes filled with tears again. Don't say it like that, she whispered. How should I say it? She didn't answer. Did you love him? I asked. No, she said quickly. Did you care about him? She hesitated again. That's not the same thing, she said. It matters, I replied. I thought I did, she admitted. I felt something inside me crack. And me? I asked. What was I? Oh, everything, she said. Doesn't look like it. I was confused, she said. No, I said. You were comfortable. That's not fair. Neither is what you did. She wiped her tears. I thought you changed, she said. I frowned. What? You were colder, she explained. More distant every time we talked. I was tired, I said. You were different, she insisted. I was at war, I repeated. And I felt like I was losing you, she said. So you replaced me before I was even gone. That's not what I did, she said. It is, I replied. She shook her head. I didn't replace you. I just filled the silence. With him. Yes. I looked away for a moment. Then back at her. You promised me, I said quietly. I know. You looked me in the eyes before I left and said you'd wait. I meant it, she said. Until you didn't. She covered her face. I hate myself for it. Good, I said. She looked up, hurt flashing across her face. You don't mean that. I do, I replied. Silence stretched again. Then she whispered, can we fix this? I stared at her. No. Her breath caught. Please, she said. No, I repeated. I'll do anything, she said. It's already done. At that moment, my phone buzzed. I pulled it out. Unknown number. I almost ignored it. But something made me answer. Yeah. Daniel, a young voice said. Who is this? It's Caleb, he said. Lena's brother. I glanced at her. She looked confused. What do you want? I asked. I need to tell you something, he said nervously. Now. Yes, it's important. I stepped a little away from Lena. Say it. He hesitated. It wasn't just once, he said. My chest went cold. What? I heard them, he continued. Talking last night. This has been going on longer than she told you. I closed my eyes. How long? I asked. Since before winter, he said quietly. That was longer than she admitted. Much longer. Why are you telling me this? I asked. Because it's wrong, he said. And you deserve the truth. I looked at Lena again. She was watching me, confused and scared. Thanks, I said, then ended the call. What was that? She asked. I stepped closer. You lied again, I said. Her face went pale. What? How long, Lena? I told you. No, I cut her off. You didn't. She shook her head. I didn't lie. Caleb just told me everything, I said. Her eyes widened. Daniel. How long? I demanded. She broke. Since winter, she whispered. The room felt smaller. Before winter, I repeated. She nodded slowly. So all those calls, I said, all those I miss you messages. I meant them, she said quickly. While you were with him. She didn't answer. That's what I thought, I said. Tears streamed down her face. I didn't know how to stop, she said. You could have started by not starting. I was weak, she said. And I paid for it, I replied. I'm paying too, she whispered. Not enough, I said. She looked at me like I had just destroyed her. But I felt nothing now. Nothing soft. Nothing hopeful. Just clarity. I kept asking if you loved me, I said quietly. I do, she said. I shook my head. That's not the question anymore. She stared at me. Then what is? I took a breath. The question is, why I ignored the signs for so long. She didn't respond. Because there was nothing left to say. I didn't sleep that night. I closed my eyes, but it didn't matter. Every time I tried, I saw her. Not just her. Him too. Their voices mixed with gunfire in my head. I sat up on Mason's couch, breathing hard. Damn it, I muttered. The room was dark, but my mind wasn't. It was loud. Too loud. A car passed outside, and I flinched. Relax, I told myself. You're home. But it didn't feel like home. It felt like a different kind of battlefield. Mason walked in, rubbing his eyes. You awake? He asked. Never slept, I said. He looked at me carefully. Nightmares. Not just nightmares, I replied. Memories. He nodded slowly. Both kind? He asked. I didn't answer, because he already knew. She messed you up bad, he said. It's not just her, I replied. But she triggered it, he said. I ran a hand over my face. I keep hearing things, I admitted. Like what? Voices, I said. Gunshots. Her voice. His voice. Mason crossed his arms. That's not good. No, I said. He stepped closer. You need help, he said. I don't need help. You do, he insisted. I've handled worse. Not like this, he said. I looked at him. This feels worse, I admitted quietly. He didn't argue. Come with me, he said. Where? To see someone. I'm not doing therapy, I said immediately. It's not just therapy, he replied. I'm fine. You're not sleeping, you're hearing things, and you look like you're about to snap, he said. That's not fine. I clenched my jaw. I don't need a lecture. You need a plan, he said. I stayed silent. Just meet him, Mason added. One time. Who? Owen Brooks. I froze. Sergeant Brooks. Yeah, he said. I exhaled slowly. His hey. Retired, Mason said. Still helps guys like you. I looked away. I don't want him seeing me like this. He already knows what this looks like, Mason replied. I didn't answer. An hour later, I was standing outside a small office. This is stupid, I muttered. Mason knocked anyway. A voice came from inside. Come in. We walked in. Owen Brooks stood there, older but the same. Daniel, he said. Sir, I replied automatically. He shook his head. Not your sergeant anymore, he said. Still feels like it, I replied. He studied my face. You look tired. I'm fine. No, You're not, he said calmly. Mason stepped back. I'll wait outside. The door closed behind him. Owen gestured to a chair. Sit. I sat today. He sat across from me. What's going on? He asked. I hesitated. Personal stuff, I said. Try again, he replied. I sighed. I came home, I said. And everything fell apart. How? My partner, I said. She cheated. He nodded once. That all? No, I said. Now I can't sleep. I hear things. I keep seeing it. Seeing what? The war, I said. And how? Mixed together. He leaned forward slightly. You're fighting two wars, he said. I frowned. One you survived, he continued. And one that just started. That's not helpful, I said. It's true, he replied. I looked down. I feel like I'm losing control, I admitted. That's because you are, he said. I looked up sharply. That's not what I need to hear. It's what you need to understand, he said. Silence. Then I asked, what do I do? He didn't answer right away. Instead, he said, what do you want to do? I thought about it. I want to hurt him, I said honestly. And how? I hesitated. I don't know, I admitted. He nodded slowly. That's the danger, he said. What is? Pain with no direction, he replied. It turns into destruction. Maybe that's what I want, I said. No, he said. It's just what you feel right now. I leaned back. It feels real, I said. Feelings always do, he replied. I stayed quiet. Listen to me, Owen said. Pain becomes dangerous when a man gives it a purpose. What does that mean? It means if you decide this pain is about revenge, you'll destroy more than just them, he said. And if I don't, you might survive it. I let that sink in. I don't feel like surviving, I said quietly. You will, he replied. How do you know? Because you're here, he said. I didn't respond. He stood up. I want you to go somewhere, he said. Where? A support group, he said. I shook my head. No, you don't get to say no, he replied. I'm not sitting in a circle talking about feelings. You already are, he said. I almost argued, but I didn't. Later that day, I found myself sitting in a quiet room with a few other people. I felt out of place. This is a waste of time, I muttered. A woman sat across from me. I hear that a lot, she said. I looked at her. Who are you? I asked. Nora, she said. I work here. I don't need this, I said. Then why did you come? She asked. I didn't answer. She tilted her head slightly. You look angry, she said. I am, I replied. At who? Everyone, I said. And underneath that, she asked. I frowned. What do you mean? Anger is usually covering something else, she said. I'm just angry, I replied. She shook her head gently. No, she said. You're hurt. I looked away. I've been hurt before, I said. Not like this, she replied. I clenched my jaw. You don't know that. I don't need to, she said. I can see it. I stayed silent. Tell me what happened, she said. I hesitated. Then I said, I came home and found her with someone else. She didn't react with shock. She just nodded. That explains the anger, she said. It's more than anger, I replied. I know, she said. I looked at her. Then what is it? It's grief, she said. I frowned. She didn't die. No, Nora said. But what you had did. That hit harder than I expected. I looked down. I don't want to feel this, I said. You don't have a choice, she replied. I let out a breath. I feel like I'm breaking, I admitted. You're not breaking, she said. It feels like it. You're reacting, she said. There's a difference. I looked at her again. Then why does it feel like everything is falling apart? Because something important did, she said. Silence filled the room. For once, it didn't feel as loud. And for the first time since I walked into that bedroom, I didn't feel completely alone. I sat at Mason's kitchen table, staring at my phone. Check it again, Mason said. I already did, I replied. Then check it slower. I exhaled and opened the banking app again. The numbers didn't change. They are still missing, I said. How much? He asked. I swallowed. More than half. Mason leaned forward. That's not small. No, I said. It's not. Did you move it? No. Did she have access? Yes. He nodded slowly. Then you already know, he said. I shook my head. I don't want to assume. You don't have to assume, he replied. You have numbers. I locked my phone and stayed at the table. It wasn't just cheating, I said quietly. Mason didn't respond. Because he understood. I trusted her with everything, I added. And she broke that, he said. Not just broke it, I said. Used it. That word felt heavier. Used. My phone buzzed. I looked down. Caleb. I hesitated. Answer it, Mason said. I picked up. Yeah. Daniel, Caleb said, his voice shaking. What is it? I need to tell you something else, he said. I leaned back in my chair. Go ahead. I didn't say everything yesterday, he admitted. I figured. I was scared, he said. Of what? Of making it worse. It's already worse, I said. He went quiet. Then he said, Victor. He talked about money a lot. My grip tightened on the phone. What kind of money? Yours, he said. Mason looked up at me. I stood up slowly. Explain, I said. I heard them arguing once, Caleb continued. He was telling Lena she needed to get you to invest in something. Invest? I repeated. Yeah, he said. Some business deal. What business? I don't know, he said. He never said clearly. I started pacing. Keep talking. He said you had savings, Caleb added, and that you trusted her. My chest tightened. And Lena? I asked. She didn't say no, he said quietly. I stopped walking. What does that mean? She didn't push back, Caleb said. At least not at first. I closed my eyes for a second. When was this? Before you came back, he said. Before I even walked through that door. Anything else? I asked. He hesitated again. There was something about insurance, he said. My stomach dropped. What about it? He asked if you had a policy, Caleb said. I felt cold. I do, I replied slowly. I figured, he said. He told her it would make things easier if something happened. Silence. Heavy. What do you mean something happened? I asked. I don't know, Caleb said quickly. I didn't hear everything. But you heard enough. Yes. I rubbed my forehead. Why are you telling me this now? Because it's wrong, he said. And I didn't realize how bad it was until after. I exhaled slowly. Thank you, I said. I'm sorry, he replied. The call ended. Mason stared at me. What did he say? I sat back down. Victor wasn't just sleeping with her, I said. Go on. He was planning something, I added. What kind of something? Money, I said. Maybe more. Mason frowned. That's serious. He knew about my savings, I said. How? Through her, I replied. Mason leaned back. So this guy gets close to her and then tries to get to you. Yeah, I said. That's not random, he said. No, I agreed. I opened my phone again. Look at this, I said, showing him the transactions. He studied them. These aren't small withdrawals, he said. No, they are planned. Exactly. He looked at me. You need to find out who this guy really is. I will, I said. Mason grabbed his laptop. Let's start now. We sat side by side. Name, he asked. Victor Cole. He typed quickly. All right, let's see, he muttered. I watched the screen. What do you see? I asked. Not much official, he said. That's not good. No, it's not, he agreed. He clicked through more pages. Wait, he said. What? There's a name connected to him, Mason said. Who? Richard Vale. Who's that? Looks like a business partner, he replied. What kind of business? Mason scrolled. That's the problem, he said. It's not Clay. I frowned. Meaning? Meaning they jump between things, he said. Short-term deals. Loans. Investments. Scams. Maybe, he said. Or something close. I leaned back. So Victor finds people, builds trust, and then takes what he can. That's what it looks like, Mason said. And Lena fell for it. Seems like it. I shook my head slowly. She thought she was escaping something, I said, and walked into something wise, Mason added. I stood up again. This isn't just betrayal, I said. No, Mason replied. This is manipulation. Yeah. I looked at my phone again. She moved money, I said. Probably under his influence, Mason said. That doesn't make it better. No, he agreed. I clenched my fists. I need to talk to her. Careful, Mason warned. I won't lose control, I said. You sure? I paused, then nodded. I'm sure. Later that evening, I stood outside the house again. It looked the same, but it wasn't. I knocked. Lena opened the door. Her eyes widened. Daniel. We need to talk, I said. She stepped aside. Come in. I walked inside slowly. This won't take long, I said. She nodded nervously. What is it? I held up my phone. Where is the money? Her face went pale. What money? Don't do that, I said. I don't know what you mean, she replied. I stepped closer. Our account, I said. Half of it is gone. She swallowed. I used some of it. Some? I repeated. Her voice dropped. More than some. For what? She hesitated. For Victor, she said quietly. The words landed hard. For Victor, I repeated. He said it was an investment, she added quickly. I laughed once. Of course he did. I thought it would help us, she said. Us? I asked. Yes, she said. Our future. I stared at her. You mean the future where you were cheating on me? She flinched. That's not fair, she said. Nothing about this is fair, I replied. She looked down. I didn't know he was lying, she said. You didn't want to know? I corrected. That's not true. Then why didn't you tell me? She didn't answer. Because you knew I'd say no, I said. Tears filled her eyes. I thought I could fix things, she whispered. You made them worse, I said. I see that now, she said. I studied her face. You talked about my insurance too, I said. Her eyes widened again. Who told you that? It doesn't matter, I replied. I didn't mean anything by it, she said quickly. You expect me to believe that? It was just a conversation, she insisted. With him? Yes. About my life. She stayed silent. I nodded slowly. Do you hear yourself? I asked. She started crying again. I was confused, she said. No, I said. You were careless. I didn't think it would go this far, she said. It already did, I replied. Silence filled the room. Then I said, he used you. She shook her head. No. Yes, I said. And you helped him use me. That broke her. She sank into the couch. I didn't mean to, she whispered. But you did, I said. I turned toward the door. Daniel, she said weakly. I stopped. I hope it was worth it, I said. Then I walked out. This time, I didn't feel shocked. I felt awake. I stood outside Evelyn's house, staring at the gate like I needed permission to breathe. Go in, I muttered to myself. Before I could move, I heard her voice. Daniel. I closed my eyes for a second. Not now. I turned slowly. Lena stood there, eyes red again. But this time there was something else. Desperation. We need to talk, she said. We already did, I replied. No, we didn't, she said quickly. You talked. I listened. That's not the same. I stayed quiet. She stepped closer. Why are you acting like this? She asked. Like what? Cold, she said. Distant. Like I don't matter. I almost laughed. Almost. You don't get to say that, I replied. Why not? She shot back. Because you made sure of it, I said. She shook her head. You came back different, she said. I looked at her. Different? Yes, she said. You're not the same man I remember. I let that sit between us. Maybe I'm not, I said. That's the problem, she replied. No, I said quietly. That's the result. She frowned. Of what? Of you, I said. Her breath caught. That's not fair, she whispered. Faye. I repeated. You want to talk about fair now? I'm trying to fix this, she said. You can't, I replied. Why not? Because it's already broken. She stepped closer again. Then fight for it, she said. I stared at her. What? Fight for us, she said. Don't just walk away. I shook my head slowly. You think this is something I should fight for? Yes, she said. Because we had something real. We did, I said. Past tense. It can still be real, she insisted. I looked at her carefully. You're asking me to beg, I said. I'm asking you to try, she replied. No, I said. You're asking me to ignore what you did. I'm asking you to forgive me. That's not the same thing. Tears filled her eyes again. I made a mistake, she said. You made a series of choices, I corrected. Daniel. No, I cut her off. Listen to me this time. She went quiet. For months, I was out there, I said. Every day. I told myself I had something to come back to. She swallowed. I held on to that. I continued. Through everything. I know, she whispered. No, you don't, I said. Silence. You don't know what it's like to wake up not knowing if it's your last day, I added. I was scared too, she said. And I respected that, I replied. But you didn't respect me. Her shoulders dropped. I was weak, she said. And now you want me to carry that, I replied. I want you to help me fix it. I shook my head. That's not my job anymore. She stared at me. So that's it, she asked. That's it, I said. You're just giving up. I'm choosing myself, I replied. She looked like I had slapped her. What happened to us? She asked. You happened, I said. She covered her face. I don't recognize you, she said. I nodded. That makes two of us. She stepped closer again. Please, she whispered. Don't do this. I didn't move. I'm not doing anything, I said. You already did it. She reached for my arm. I stepped back. Don't, I said. That hurt her more than anything I said before. You won't even let me touch you, she asked. No. Why? Because I don't trust you, I replied. She broke down again. I'm sorry, she said through tears. I believe you, I said. Her head snapped up. You do? Yes, I said. I believe you're sorry. Hope flickered in her eyes. But that doesn't change anything, I added. The hope died instantly. I don't need your apology, I said. Then what do you need? Distance, I replied. She shook her head. I can't lose you, she said. You already did, I said. Silence fell between us again. This time, it felt final. I thought you'd fight for me, she whispered. I looked at her calmly. I fought for you, I said. Just not hey. She didn't understand. But I did. And now, she asked. Now I'm done fighting battles that aren't mine, I replied. She wiped her tears. So what happens now? You move on, I said. And you? I already started. She stared at me like she didn't believe it. You're lying, she said. No, I replied. I'm learning. Learning what? How to live without you, I said. That hit harder than anything else. She stepped back slowly. I don't want that, she said. I didn't want this, I replied. She had no answer. For the first time, she had nothing left to say. I turned toward the gate. Daniel, she called softly. I stopped, but I didn't turn around. I still love you, she said. I closed my eyes for a second. Then I said, that's not enough. I walked away. This time, my steps felt steady. Not heavy, not broken, just firm. Later that evening, I sat across from Nora again. You look different, she said. Good or bad? I asked. Stronger, she replied. I nodded slightly. I saw her today, I said. And she wanted me to fight for her. What did you do? I didn't, I replied. Nora studied me. That couldn't have been easy, she said. It wasn't, I admitted. But it felt right. She smiled faintly. That's growth, she said. Feels like loss, I replied. It can be both, she said. I leaned back. I thought I'd feel angry, I said. And I felt calm, I replied. That's not weakness, she said. I know, I said. She tilted her head. What changed? I stopped waiting for her to fix it, I said. And started fixing myself. She nodded. That's where your power is, she said. I thought about Owen's words. Pain becomes dangerous when a man gives it a purpose. I'm choosing a different purpose, I said. What is it? She asked. Not destroying myself, I replied. She smiled again. That's a good start. I exhaled slowly. For the first time, I said, I don't feel like chasing answers anymore. Why not? Because I already have them, I replied. And what are they? That some things don't deserve closure, I said. She nodded. And you? She asked. I deserve better, I said quietly. The words felt strange, but they also felt true. And for the first time since everything broke, I believed them. I was sitting with Mason when my phone buzzed again. Another one? He asked. Yeah, I said, checking the screen. Caleb. Mason leaned back. That kid's carrying a lot. I answered. What now? I said. Daniel, Caleb whispered. It's getting bad. For who? For Victor, he said. I glanced at Mason. What happened? People are showing up, Caleb said. At the house. Asking questions. What kind of questions? About money, he replied. About deals that don't exist. I stood up slowly. Keep talking. I heard Lena arguing with him. Caleb continued. She said people are threatening legal action. Mason raised an eyebrow. And Victor? I asked. Is acting like it's nothing, Caleb said. But he's lying. I almost smiled. Of course he is. There's more, Caleb added. What? I found messages, he said. My grip tightened on the phone. What messages? Between him and Lena, Caleb said. From months ago. Send them, I said. I will, he replied. A second later, my phone buzzed again. I opened the messages. Mason leaned closer. What do they say? I read out loud. I'll leave everything for you. I scrolled. We'll build something together. Another message. Trust me, I know what I'm doing. Mason scoffed. Classic, he said. I kept reading. Once Daniel's money is in, we're set. The room went quiet. There it is, Mason muttered. I nodded slowly. He never cared about her, I said. No, Mason agreed. She was just a door. I looked at the screen again, and I was the prize. My phone buzzed again. This time, Lena. I stayed at the name. Answer it, Mason said. I picked up. Yeah. Her voice was different. Not confident. Not defensive. Panicked. Daniel, I need to talk to you, she said quickly. Why? Because everything is falling apart, she said. I leaned against the wall. What did you expect? This isn't what I thought it was, she said. No, I replied. It's exactly what it was. I didn't know, she said. You didn't want to know, I corrected. Please, she said. Just listen. I stayed quiet. He lied to me, she said. I closed my eyes for a second. I know. You know. Yes, I said. I've seen the messages. Silence. You've seen them, she asked. Yes. Her voice broke. He said he loved me, she whispered. He says that to everyone, I replied. I gave him everything, she said. You gave him access, I corrected. She started crying. He took the money, she said. I figured. I thought it was an investment, she said. You thought wrong. I know that now, she said. I didn't respond. People are coming after him, she continued. And now they're looking at me too. That's how it works, I said. I'm scared, she whispered. I paused. A part of me still reacted to that, but not the way it used to. You should be, I said calmly. Daniel. What? I need help, she said. I shook my head. No, please, she begged. No, I repeated. I don't know what to do, she said. That's not my problem anymore. Her breathing got heavier. You're just going to leave me like this. I looked at the wall in front of me. You left me first, I said. That's not the same, she said. It is to me. Silence filled the call. Then she said softly, he's not who I thought he was. I told you that, I replied. I didn't listen, she said. No, I agreed. I ruined everything, she whispered. I didn't answer, because there was nothing to add. Daniel, she said, her voice shaking, he was using me. Yes, I said, and I helped him use you, she added. Yes. The truth hung between us. Heavy. Unavoidable. I didn't think it would end like this, she said. It always ends like this, I replied. For people like him. And people like me, she asked. I thought about that. Then I said, that depends on what you do next. She didn't respond. I can't fix this, she said finally. No, I replied. Can you? No. She started crying again. I lost everything, she said. I took a slow breath. That's what choices do, I said. You're so calm, she whispered. I'm done reacting, I replied. That's it. That's it. I ended the call. Mason looked at me. How was that? Different, I said. Good different or bad different? Clear, I replied. He nodded. That's progress. I sat down again. I don't even feel angry anymore, I said. That's because you see it now, he said. See what? The whole picture, he replied. I looked at my phone. Victor's name sat there in the messages. A man who thought he could take whatever he wanted. And now, is losing it all, I said. Yeah, Mason replied. And I didn't have to do anything. That's the best part, he said. I leaned back. For a second, I admitted I wanted to go after him. And now? Now I don't need to, I said. Mason smiled slightly. That's real power. I nodded. This isn't revenge, I said. No, he agreed. It's consequences. Exactly. My phone buzzed one more time. Another unknown number. I answered. Daniel Hayes, a voice said. Who's this? Richard Vale, he replied. I exchanged a look with Mason. What do you want? I asked. I believe you're connected to Victor Cole, he said. I used to be, I replied. Then you should know, he continued. He's in serious trouble. I figured. He owes people money, Richard said. A lot of it. Not my concern, I replied. It might be, he said. Your name came up. My jaw tightened. Why? Because some of the funds trace back to accounts linked to you, he said. I felt a cold edge creep in. I didn't authorize anything, I said. I believe you, he replied. That's why I'm calling. Then what do you want? To separate you from him, Richard said. I already did, I replied. Then make it official, he said, before this gets worse. I glanced at Mason. He nodded. I will, I said. Good, Richard replied. Because Victor won't survive this. The call ended. Mason let out a low whistle. That guy's finished, he said. I nodded slowly. Yeah, I replied. I looked out the window. For the first time, I didn't feel like I lost something. I felt like I escaped something. I was sitting alone when the knock came. Not loud, not rushed, just tired. I already knew it was her. Come in, I said. The door opened slowly. Lena stepped inside. No makeup, no confidence, no excuses waiting on her lips. Just broken. Hi, she said softly. I nodded once. Hi. She stood there like she didn't know where to go. You can sit, I said. She walked forward and sat across from me. For a moment, neither of us spoke. Then she whispered, he's gone. I leaned back slightly. I figured. He took everything, she said. I know. Her eyes filled with tears again. I didn't believe it at first, she said. I thought, maybe there was a reason. There wasn't, I replied. I see that now, she said. Silence. I lost the money, she added. I know. I lost everything, she said. I studied her face. You made that choice, I said. I know, she whispered. Her voice shook. I thought I was escaping pain, she said. And I walked into something worse, she replied. I didn't respond, because there was nothing left to argue about. I'm not here to lie anymore, she said. Good, I replied. I'm here to tell you the truth, she added. Then tell it. She took a deep breath. I still love you, she said. The words hung in the air. Heavy. Late. I believe you, I said calmly. Her eyes flickered with hope. But it doesn't change anything, I added. The hope disappeared. I know, she whispered. I just needed to say it. I nodded. Okay. She looked at me carefully. You're really done, she said. Yes. No anger. There was, I replied. Not anymore. That hurts more, she admitted. I know. She looked down at her hands. I made the worst mistake of my life, she said. Yes, I said. She didn't argue. That was new. I thought he cared about me, she continued. He cared about what you gave him, I replied. I gave him everything, she said. And he took it, I said. And I helped him hurt you, she added. Yes. Her shoulders dropped. I hate myself for that, she said. I stayed quiet for a moment. Then I said, that's something you'll have to live with. She nodded slowly. I deserve that, she said. Another silence passed between us. This one felt different. Not tense. Just final. I kept thinking about you while I was out there, I said suddenly. She looked up. What? Every day, I continued. Every night. Her eyes filled again. I counted days, I said. Not weeks. Days. She covered her mouth. I tell myself, just get through this one more day, and you're closer to home. Daniel, she whispered. I pictured your voice, I said. I held on to it when everything around me felt like it was falling apart. Tears rolled down her face. I thought about walking through that door. I continued. About seeing you again. I'm so sorry, she said. I nodded slightly. And when I finally did, I said, that moment. My voice dropped. That moment was the worst thing I've ever felt. She broke down completely. I know, she cried. You don't, I said quietly. I do, she insisted. No, I said. You understand what you did. But you don't understand what it felt like. She couldn't argue with that. I took everything I had left inside me, I continued, and I gave it to the idea of you. Her breathing shook, and when I saw you like that, I paused. It killed something in me. She cried harder. I didn't mean to, she said. I know, I replied, but it happened anyway. She nodded weakly. I wish I could take it back, she said. You can't. I know. Silence again. I don't expect you to forgive me, she said. I looked at her. I do forgive you, I said. Her head snapped up. You do? Yes, I replied. Hope flickered again. But not in the way you want, I added. The hope faded. What does that mean? She asked. It means I'm not carrying this anymore, I said. She frowned slightly. I don't understand. I'm not holding on to the anger, I explained. Or the hate. And us. That's gone, I said. Her eyes filled again. So you forgive me. But you don't want me. I forgive you so I can move on, I said. That hit her hard. I thought forgiveness meant, she started. It doesn't mean going back, I finished. She looked down. I see, she whispered. You can't undo what happened, I said. I know. And I can't pretend it didn't change me, I added. She nodded slowly. I don't recognize the man you are now, she said. I do, I replied. And who is he? Someone who won't accept less than respect, I said. She closed her eyes. I didn't give you that, she admitted. No, I said. I took you for granted, she said. Yes. I thought you'd always be there, she added. That's where you were wrong, I replied. Tears kept falling from her eyes. I destroyed the best thing I had, she said. I didn't argue, because she finally understood. I don't expect you to take me back, she said. Good, I replied. But I needed to face you, she added. You did, I said. And now? Now you live with it, I replied. She nodded slowly. I will, she said. She stood up carefully. I'm leaving town, she added. I looked at her. That's probably for the best. I don't belong here anymore, she said. No, I agreed. She hesitated. Goodbye, Daniel, she whispered. I nodded once. Goodbye. She turned and walked to the door. For a second, I thought about stopping her, about saying something different, about going back to who I was before all of this. But I didn't, because that version of me was gone. The door opened, then closed, and just like that, it was over. I sat there in silence. Not empty, not broken, just done. I stood in front of my mother's grave, hands in my pockets, staring at the name carved into stone. Hey, I said quietly. The wind moved past me, soft and steady. I made it back, I added. For a moment, I just stood there. Then I pulled the folded letter from my jacket. I found this again, I said. You remember? You wrote it before everything got bad. I opened it slowly. My hands didn't shake this time. I used to think this was just advice, I said. Now it feels like a warning. I read the words under my breath. Pain will come. You don't get to choose that, but you do get to choose what it makes you. I let out a slow breath. Yeah, I whispered. I get that now. I folded the letter again. I could have gone a different way, I said. I thought about it. I paused. I wanted to hurt him, I admitted. I wanted to break everything the way I felt broken. I looked down at the ground, but I didn't. Silence answered me. I don't know if that makes you proud, I said. Then I shook my head slightly. No, I corrected. I think it does. I stood there a little longer. I'm still here, I said. That has to mean something. When I turned to leave, my steps felt steady. Not heavy, not lost, just mine. Later that day, I sat across from Nora again. You look lighter, she said. I feel different, I replied. Good different. Clear, I said. She smiled slightly. That's becoming your word. I guess it is. She leaned back. How's everything else? She asked. I went to see my mom, I said. And I finally understood something she told me, I replied. What was it? That pain doesn't decide who I become, I said. Nora nodded. And what are you choosing? She asked. I'm choosing not to carry it anymore, I replied. She studied me carefully. That's not easy, she said. No, I agreed. But it's simple. She smiled again. Simple doesn't mean easy, she said. I know, I replied. I leaned forward slightly. Victor's situation got worse, I added. She raised an eyebrow. How so? Is being investigated, I said. Fraud, missing money, everything catching up to him. And how do you feel about that? She asked. I thought about it. Nothing, I said. Nothing. I don't feel satisfaction, I explained. I don't feel anger either. Just nothing. Just distance, I said. She nodded slowly. That's closure, she said. It doesn't feel like closure, I replied. What does it feel like? Like I don't need it, I said. She smiled faintly. That's even better. I leaned back. Lena left town, I added. Nora's expression softened. How do you feel about that? I took a breath. I hope she figures herself out, I said. And you? I already started, I replied. She held my gaze for a moment. You're not rushing anything, she said. No, I replied. That's good. I'm not trying to replace anything, I said. You don't need to, she replied. Silence settled between us, but it felt comfortable. Not heavy, not forced, just calm. You've changed, she said after a moment. I had to, I replied. Do you like who you are now? I thought about it. Then I said, I respect him. She smiled. That's enough, she said. Later that evening, I met Mason outside his place. You look like a different man, he said. I feel like one, I replied. He handed me a drink. To surviving, he said. I raised it slightly. To choosing better, I replied. He nodded. I heard about Victor, he said. Yeah, I replied. Guy's done, Mason added. Yeah. You ever think about going after him yourself? I did, I said. And now? Now I'm glad I didn't, I replied. He smirked. That's growth. Or exhaustion, I said. Same thing sometimes, he replied. We both laughed quietly. Evelyn's been asking about you, he added. I'll see her tomorrow, I said. Good, he replied. She was ready to fight someone. I know, I said. That's love, Mason said. Yeah, I agreed. We stood there for a moment. You okay? He asked. I looked around. At the street. At the sky. At everything that felt normal again. Yeah, I said. I think I am. He nodded. Good, he said. Because for the first time, I meant it. That night, I sat alone, but it didn't feel like loneliness. It felt like space. Like something new had room to grow. I picked up my phone and looked at the contacts. Old names. Old memories. Old versions of me. I didn't feel the need to erase them. I just didn't need to go back to them either. I'm not that guy anymore, I said quietly. And for once, that didn't feel like loss. It felt like truth. I lay back and stayed at the ceiling. No noise in my head. No replaying moments. No voices mixing together. Just silence. Real silence. Peaceful. I made it through. I whispered. Not the war. Not the betrayal. Not the anger. All of it. Together. And I was still here. Still standing. Still choosing. I closed my eyes. And for the first time in a long time, sleep came easy.